If a person is unable to listen to the instructions for their own brain to the end, the amygdala will always rule their wallet. Impatience is the most expensive tax in the world, and those in whom it is off the charts will pay for it with their unfulfilled dreams. Let's talk today, calmly, without fuss, about how we were hardwired for failure. No resentment, no blame, and no grandiosity. We are simply going to examine the mechanics of this process. To understand how a mechanism works, you must first see its individual parts. Imagine a child, 3, 4, 5 years old. He doesn't know what exchange rates, leverage, or inflation are yet. But this little person is a genius neurobiologist. He scans his parents' state faster and more accurately than any supercomputer. To a child, parents are gods. They are his entire world. If the gods are calm and confident, the universe is safe. If the gods are anxious, if their eyes are darting and their shoulders are tense, it means trouble has arrived. Recall how money was spoken about in your home. It didn't have to be loud arguments or breaking dishes. The most dangerous hardwiring happens in silence. Sometimes it was just a heavy, suffocating silence on the day the rent was due, or the way a mother hid a new receipt in her bag as if it were a dark secret, or how a father, coming home from work, sat silently at the table, his face making it clear, money is the thing that drains his soul. During this time, you were sitting under the table, playing with a car or drawing. You thought you were busy with your own business, but your brain was operating in a special mode, theta waves. This is a state of deep receptivity. You didn't hear words about budgets. You absorbed biochemistry. If a crease appeared on your father's forehead at the mention of money and tension hung in the air, your brain made a bold, indelible mark. Money is why dad struggles. Money equals stress. Now you are 30 or 40. You might have a great business or a brilliant career. But as soon as it comes to truly large profits or reaching a new level, your subconscious fuse simply blocks the resource. Why? Because your amygdala, that tiny control center in the brain, vividly remembers that crease on your father's forehead. It doesn't want you to be rich. It wants you to be at peace. And for the amygdala, safety means having just enough money so that there isn't that terrifying, oppressive silence in the house. Many are used to thinking that poverty is a lack of intelligence, education, or connections. This is a common myth. In reality, the psychology of scarcity is a specific hormonal profile. If you grew up in a family that was constantly, day after day, in survival mode, your body became accustomed to cortisol from childhood. This is the stress hormone, the survival hormone. Your parents weren't living. They were struggling against circumstances. They were constantly waiting for the world to betray them. And you, as their direct continuation, inherited this internal rhythm. In a person hardwired for scarcity, the brain operates in tunnel vision mode. You only see what is directly beneath your feet. You are physically unable to plan 5 or 10 years ahead because your limbic system focuses only on the current moment. For it, a long-term strategy is an unaffordable luxury. And here is the most frustrating part. There is a substance in our brain called GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid. It is responsible for inhibiting the nervous system. When a person whose brain is tuned for growth encounters a financial opportunity, they release dopamine. They feel excitement, anticipation, and a surge of energy. When a person hardwired for failure encounters the same opportunity, they release GABA. They feel numbness. You literally freeze. You find 100 logical reasons why now is not the time, why the project is raw, why the client is difficult. You postpone the life-changing call until tomorrow, the day after, forever. You aren't being lazy. Your nervous system is protecting you from change, because to it, any change is a threat to the familiar, albeit joyless, balance. Do you know what is most painful about true success? It is the subconscious sense of distance. It sounds strange, almost absurd, but let's be perfectly honest with ourselves. In most of our families, there was a silent, invisible rule. We are honest but simple people. We are ordinary. We aren't like those people in the expensive cars. A child absorbs this belief as part of their identity, like their blood type. For such a person, becoming wealthy means ceasing to be one of us. It means leaving the circle of loyalty. It means admitting you no longer belong to your family. This is a deep-seated fear of losing the connection with your own people. For our biological self, being outside of a familiar environment is extremely uncomfortable. At the level of oxytocin, the hormone of belonging and trust, we are tethered to our gray, familiar environment. If I suddenly earn $1 million, can I sit in the old kitchen with my parents as easily as before and sympathetically discuss the price of bread? Won't my success become an invisible wall between us? Won't I see sadness or hidden resentment in my mother's eyes? This fear of losing the emotional connection to one's roots is often 10 times stronger than any thirst for comfort or recognition. We subconsciously choose to stay down just so they continue to consider us one of them. So that mom still pats our head and says, "It's okay, at least you're a good person, not like those show-offs." This is a drama we play out for ourselves, not even realizing that the result of this love is our unfulfilled life. Have you ever noticed a strange pattern? As soon as an extra amount of money appears in your hands, a bonus, a prize, a gift, the world around you seems to start a hunt for that money. Suddenly, on that very day, the washing machine breaks, the neighbor downstairs has a ceiling leak, or you get a fine you haven't thought about for 3 years. You sigh and say, "Typical, I'm just unlucky again." But I will tell you the truth. It's not a matter of luck. This is your brain opening a window to let out the excess heat. You became psychologically too warm from that money. Your internal financial comfort temperature is set to scarcity. As soon as the resource level rises above that mark, your psyche begins to experience intense stress. You literally feel physical discomfort. To bring your heart rate back to normal, you need to get rid of this excess. You need to return to a state where money is just a little bit short. You yourself, at the level of subconscious micro-decisions, choose the path where the resource is spent. You provoke the situations that consume the resource. Only in a state of slight deficit do you feel like yourself. This is the homeostasis of limitation, a state where the brain spends colossal effort to ensure that, God forbid, nothing in your life changes. How to start rewriting the code. 5 steps to yourself. I don't believe in magical transformations overnight. Neural pathways that have been carefully built and reinforced for decades will not crumble because of one beautiful phrase. But we can begin the process of that soft update we talked about, without putting pressure on ourselves. Step 1. Identify the voices in your head. Start simply noticing your automatic thoughts about money, but look at them with detachment. When you catch yourself thinking, "This isn't for me," or "I don't deserve this quality," ask yourself, whose voice is that? Try to remember who in your family used to sigh like that or purse their lips like that. Once you realize this thought is just an old record left to you as an inheritance, it will begin to lose its power over you. You are not your inheritance. You are the one looking at it. Step 2. Expand the zone of the allowable. Your amygdala must see in practice that prosperity is not synonymous with anxiety. You don't need to make large purchases immediately. Start with presence therapy. Go to a place that feels indecently good. It could be the lobby of an expensive hotel or a quiet boutique. Just sit there, order a cup of tea, observe your discomfort, the urge to shrink, to hide. Your task is simply to wait out this wave. When your pulse calms down, your brain will record a new entry. We were in the heart of luxury and nothing happened to us. We are safe. This place could be mine. Step 3. The pause before the drain. When you receive money beyond your usual amount, do nothing with it for at least a week. Even if very urgent matters arise, wait. You will feel that itch in your hands, that obsessive desire to distribute it, spend it, or give it away. This is your old program for shedding ballast. Just stay in that tension. Breathe. Teach your body that having a surplus is normal. It does not require an immediate reaction. You will see how, after a few days, the anxiety is replaced by quiet confidence. Step 4. New mirror settings. We are a reflection of those who surround us. If all your friends discuss only rising prices and the injustice of the world, your mirror neurons will endlessly copy these patterns of anxiety. Find an environment where success is not a miracle but a daily routine. Listen to people for whom large numbers are just statistics, not a reason for stress. You don't have to be friends with them. Just listen to them, read them, and observe their gestures. Your task is to allow your brain to be infected by their composure. Step 5. Small acts of financial sovereignty. Do something your parents would have called an excess, but which gives you a real sense of quality. Buy one thing that will last for years instead of 10 cheap alternatives. Hire someone to do work you could have done yourself, but would have spent all evening doing. These are micro hacks of the system. Each such step is your statement to your subconscious. The old rules no longer apply. I am the author of my life, not the performer of someone else's fear. You know, I often look at people and see an incredible amount of light, locked in a cramped, dusty box of other people's expectations. Our parents gave us the most precious thing, our lives. This is a gift that cannot be overstated. And they tried their best, based on the pain they knew themselves, but they gave us the maps they had, and they were trying to cope in a different world. Today, times are different. The rules of the game have changed. You no longer need to simply survive. You have every right to create and to own. This is a long journey. There will be setbacks. It will be scary. And sometimes you will desperately want to return to your familiar, quiet, underground. No, believe me, one day lived as the author of your destiny is worth 10 years spent as a shadow of someone else's past. Tell me, what do you feel right now? Which phrase or image resonated with you most? Let's talk about it. I'm here, and I'm reading your comments. Take care of yourselves. And finally, give yourself permission to see this world through your own eyes, not through the eyes of those who feared it before you. I'll see you in the next video.